So now to Adam Ferrier. Adam Ferrier is one of those people who really changed the world, in this case, the world of creative agencies. Adam is founder and consumer psychologist at Thinkerbell. He wears a black t-shirt, as you can see, and he began his life as a criminal psychologist before he became a cool hunter. And that is not just a name that he gave himself, because he's actually done a master's thesis on it, identifying the underlying constructs of cool people. Adam brings together those worlds of creativity and data, and he calls it measured magic. His agency, Thinkerbell, founded only about 3 to 4 years ago, has already won Mumbrella's Creative, Full Service and PR Agency of the Year last year. First time an agency has won all 3 in the same year.
Yep, that's right.
I'm looking forward to it. There you go.
Are there any legitimate uni students in the room? And does it matter more to you to get this than the effort to carry it home? Yeah, you? Okay, that's for you. This session is sponsored by Lion Beer, that's one of my clients. But just grab those at the end of this. And this is my book, Stop Listening to the Customer, Try Hearing Your Brand Instead. Will anybody not buy that? Hands up if you have no intention of buying that book. Cool. Then you can have it, because you won't be eating into sales. So you put up your hand. You put up your hand. Everyone else, you're going to buy. You're going to buy it? You'll buy it? Okay, great. You're not going to buy it. Anyone else not going to buy it? You 3 over there. Thank you. Cool. All right. So, clinical psychologist, got into advertising late. Love with the world, with people, creating behavioural change. If I can do it for good, that's even better, but it doesn't necessarily dictate what I choose to do. All right, so I'm going to take 5 minutes of your time. I've known Mike for years, and we just kind of got a mutual kind of affection for each other. And he said, you know, this conference is kind of on AI, the future, creativity. Have you got something you can talk about? And I thought, yes, I do. Thank fuck, I've got this, which is this purple box. So Bega is one of our clients, and we work across the whole gamut of all of their brands. And they told us a couple of years ago they were going to enter the honey category, and they said we want to have a category that's going to compete with honey in the honey thing. Capilino dominates the honey market. It's got about 70% share, or had about 70% share. And then they've got a whole lot of other honeys that kind of exist as well, like Beechworth and a few others, but they all look pretty much like that chart there. We thought we know that everyone loves bees. Bees are really cool. They're really important for the whole ecosystem, and we kind of thought of that going in. And then we thought about wanting to have a proposition that was purpose-led. And so I thought everybody in the honey market doesn't really do anything except for be yellow. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a honey that's exactly the same as everybody else's honey, because they are all the same, right? They're always made by bees and they're always honey. That doesn't sound dismissive though, because in every single category of things you buy, functionally they're exactly the same, right? So, you know, all the cars, whether they're really cheap or really expensive, are built in the same factories. The clothes, you know, cheaper clothes are sometimes better than more expensive ones. So they're all basically the same at a rational level. So that doesn't ever stop us from thinking about doing good marketing. Marketing is everything you kind of put around that. So we wanted to have a proposition that was purpose-led. When bees actually, to get bees to make honey, it can be quite a distressing process for the bee. And so we thought, let's make the whole process as comfortable and happy for the bee. And then we developed up a proposition of it all starts with the bee. That was going to be our proposition to enter the honey market. We're going to be the only bee-led honey in the honey market. Everyone else worries about the consumer, we'll worry about the bee. So the first thing we did is we put it in purple packaging. That's a bee's favourite colour. That's why lots of flowers are purple, and they kind of got various ways to identify purple versus other colours. And so we thought that was good. The other really good thing about that is all the other honeys are yellow, so ours is purple, so ours stands out more on shelf. But we thought to ourselves, that's not quite good enough to live up to the proposition of it all starts with a bee, and putting bees first, just doing purple packaging would be a bit ridiculous. So we needed another way to think about how we could put the bee first and what we could do to help the bee population in the world. So we spoke to a whole lot of beekeepers, environmentalists, and various consumers, and we thought, how can we add to the value equation that's happening in the honey market and the bee populations around the world? And that's when we discovered about the varroa destructor, which is a mite that's in every single continent. When we did this 2 years ago, it was in every single continent in the world, except for Australia. It's obviously now just in the last 8 months, it's entered into Newcastle, but it's getting controlled. So we found out about the varroa destructor, and you see that little thing there on it. That's a lump. That's actually the mite on the back of a bee, and that's how you can detect it. And currently, at the time, just go back 2 years, the only country, the only continent without the varroa destructor. The varroa has estimated to have cost in New Zealand primary industries between 300 to 600 million since 2002. It's decimated bee colonies everywhere. It's been really, really bad. There was a way in Australia of detecting the varroa mite, but it's really, really manual, really time consuming and really ineffective. So we thought, let's tackle this. So to launch Bee Honey in Australia, we would invest into identifying and helping keep Australia safe from the varroa mite. So it needed to be, and in order to do this, we needed something that could detect the varroa mite, work remotely, use minimal power, have minimal maintenance, and have real-time connectivity to other beekeepers around the world, around Australia. And so we created a thing called the Purple Hive. And the Purple Hive has 360-degree cameras, it has AI computing at its set, cutting real-time alerts via 4G, but all of this kind of. Basically what it does is, if a bee has the varroa mite on its neck and it goes into the hive, cameras in the hive can detect the varroa mite on its neck and alert the beekeeper, but also alert everybody, all the other hives that are interconnected to the Purple Hive project. So how do you train the AI to recognise the varroa mite? I'm now going to be way out of my depth as I talk about this. So that was our idea. This is us. This is Thinkerbell doing its cool thing. We then worked with an AI company called Zalient, who are an agri-tech company, and said, here, how do we help do this? And they helped, they did some kind of renditions of 3D printed mites, 3D printed mite on the back of a bee's neck, and then we field tested it in reality in New Zealand. And I'll just bring up these kind of things. And then what we did is we were able to take loads and loads of photos of people with bees with the varroa mite in various conditions and various just moving around. That's it on its neck versus those without. So it got really, really good. The cameras got really, really good at detecting the varroa mite. We then launched it in Victoria, and it got loads and loads of PR, which is very important to us because we're in the business of selling honey. And Landline did a 12-minute story on it. It received a 5-page spread within National Geographic, and it's now captured 11.1% of the honey market without spending a cent in advertising. The way it's done that is by all of the retailers, so Coles and Woolies are going, this is a really cool category leadership position you're doing, we'll back you, so we'll take it. And then because it's got purple packaging and everybody else has got yellow packaging, people just go, oh yeah, I'll buy that one. So, so it's working very well. The guys have now been involved, the bigger team, and have now been involved with the conversations that are happening at the moment, trying to protect the varroa mite. AgVic's fairly involved. Ag New South Wales is now has got involved as well, and so it's spreading at the same. It's spreading. Hopefully, as the Purple Hive project's spreading and kind of getting bigger, and hopefully we can get it to a state where the next time it comes in, one of our Purple Hives will detect the varroa mite. That's it. That'll do.